Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about sketching and I will show you why this is a very important tool for our scoring process. Okay, so the whole idea of this video is to show you how to work with the sketches, or at least the way I use it, because there's obviously many ways to work around this topic. But what I have in here, and to begin with, the tutorial itself is a very small fragment of music that I just simply recorded, that I improvised, and this should be the layout for my main score. It has just simple chords and a simple melody that I will play for you, so that you can get a context of where everything we are about to do comes out. Remember, the whole idea of having a sketch is to have your ideas very clearly laid out so that you can start programming this into a score. This is not necessarily the final score. This is not necessarily the final idea that you will be playing, but it will be a starting point and you will be able to see harmonies and stuff very easily and quickly. And it will help you get a super fast starting point, and it will help you and assist you to develop ideas very fastly. So let me play it for you, and let's see you after this. Let me play 1 second. Okay, there. So as you can hear, it's very simple chord and melody progression, very simple. This is obviously on purpose with the whole idea of making the whole process of the video very easy and for you to hear and see. So this is it. Let's begin. Okay, so the first thing I do is I got this. This is the melody that we had. It's right here in this track. And the first pass or process that I do is to duplicate this and take this out and quantize it in different lanes or different tracks. So I already done that. I'm going to turn that off and turn this on, zoom this in and zoom this out. Now in, and I have my chords in here. And as you can see, they all have the same velocity. And the same with the melody, and they also is quantized all as I wanted it to be, lengths and durations and everything. This is the sketch that I had, and if I open these two together, you can see that now I have this very much detailed and processed. Okay, so the reason I do this is because I will transfer these melodies to different instruments on my layer, on my DAW, and the chords will help me do things like arpeggiators and things like that. So, and the other thing that it helps me do is I can, as you can see, I have already done that, but I can drag this over here, and it writes my chords on top. And that's important because if I wanted it, for example, to, let me open this up a little bit for you. Okay, I wanted it to make a harmony for this melody. I have my chords right here, and that will help me have a reference to the chord that I'm working with when I'm making harmonies and melodies and everything and counterpoint and whatever. So this is very helpful. And the other reason that I want to have this on top here is because, for example, if I take this lane and I go to project and I go to chord track and I chords to MIDI, it will create a chord progression accordingly with it. And the very nice thing that it does is it can be tweaked and it can grow over the whole spectrum of the score, and it can help me do arrangement ideas, and we have spoken of this in a few videos ago, so this is it. So that's the first pass that I do, so that I can have my chords and my melody already very clean and very timed and everything, so that I can keep on going. So that would be the first part that I do. Okay. Okay, so I got these two, and the next step that I do is think what melodies and what other details or things I want to hear in this arrangement that I want to do. So I came up with this ostinato. Let me play it for you. And it plays very well with the melody and the chords, especially with the melody. This track with the chords I use just to verify that everything I'm doing is working within the harmony I played this sketch. So I will use it like that. And I know that I want to repeat this, so I got this right here. So now I have this thing going on, and I thought about this other part that will end up growing to this strings arrangement. And again, if I open this, I can see that all the voices that I work in here, they don't clash, and they are working with the chords that I have on top, so that I don't mess up with the harmony that I thought at the beginning. And I can do all the changes and things that I want. This is very simple. It doesn't have like a very thought of process, but it has laid out like a melody that goes in here, and that will grow up to this. And the other thing that I thought of is making a bass go there. So I made this couple of tracks in here. So I wrote that. Let me take the chords out. And then it grows. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted it to do, I have this layer, which is just a basic, very general MIDI orchestral sample library here, and I wanted to put like a simple percussion going on. And the huge part about this is that I can, as you can see here, all my voices are in here, and I can see that they don't clash, that everything is covering a certain spectrum of the arrangement. I can do more things in here, for example, and then I can come up with something for that, and then I can transfer all this information that is neatly programmed to be moved to another instrument, and then I can tweak that in that VST or that lane or in my DAW or whatever. Okay, so the most relevant thing or part of making a sketch is to have my melodies very clear. That this is, for example, this is not clashing with the melody, is a sparkly thing that we can do on top of it, and we have this cello bass in here, and then we will have afterwards we will have the same thing. Let me show you with the strings that cover everything in here, but they don't clash the melody and they don't clash the counterpoint, the ostinato, and they work well with the bass. So everything that I have in here works because in a way is what I want to transfer to my instruments, but the fact that I can see it as flat and plain as it is in here, and that I can hear it with the piano, it makes it very easy for me to take decisions. And this is just a guide, it's a sketch, it's a way to help me score, but it's not the ending part of it. So once I do that, and I lay out some ideas of how I want to hear the percussion and things like that, what I will do is program this, and I can do it several ways. But I wanted to do it with Dorico because we have been doing this in the past few videos. So I want to transfer this to my Dorico software so that you can listen to it once we transfer all this in the way we have been doing it. And it is very quickly, we can have a mock-up of this in several seconds. So let's go to Dorico. Okay, so I already imported all the MIDI files that I exported out from Dorico, from Nuendo to Dorico. So I can see I have the beat that I had. This is the bass drum. I have the bass that I wrote. I have the melody. I have the counter melody or the second melody that I thought of, the harmony with the strings, and the ostinato and the chords, as you can see. So what I did is I opened up my template in Dorico and I transferred all those notes and copied them into instruments that I wanted to hear that at. For example, I placed the glockenspiel for the ostinato, and the melody is an oboe, so you can hear the melody here. Let me show you closer look of the do. There you go. Okay, so as you can hear, I had the melody here. Let me play the oboe for you. And everything in here has been just transferred from there to here. The only thing that I have done is I have placed, for example, a few staccatos, and legatos and things like that I wanted to hear, and a crescendo over here and things like that. So the reason I don't do this in the DAW is because I can do articulations very fast and in here, or faster than I can do with my DAW, and I can sketch another ideas and transpose. And I like the way it works for me. Is it feels very orchestrally, the process, not the sound but the process, and it works fine. So once I transfer all the data that I had in here and I just distributed it around through the different instruments, no additional notes added, just copy and paste, this is what we get. So let's hear. So you can hear how quickly I can have an arrangement already done here, that it came out of my sketch, but an organized sketch. Okay, so this is the way that I work. I will export this then to my DAW and program it over there so that I can get better results and sound to make it sound more realistic. Okay, obviously I will take this further probably and make it longer and add different melodies around a bit, but most of it I will do in the sketch before I bring everything here into my notation software or my DAW to program it to make it sound. Okay, so this is a process that I do just to simplify the workflow and to have everything very clear with how I want this to be, how this melody, how do I want this arrangement to be. And it's very amazing to hear how this that we have in here, just by transferring it to the correct instruments, or not necessarily the correct, the instruments that I wanted to hear it with. For example, in Dorico here that I have, let me put it back on right here, and I can play it back on. That we just heard turns to this super ultra mega quickly. And remember, this is just transferring the notes here. I did not trick anything. It's just the same chords, the same melodies that I have in my DAW. And the main thing, and this is very important that I want to show you this, is the fact that I can open this and review that I don't have, that everything is within an elegant range, that nothing is on top of anything else, so the notes are clear, that I can check all my melodies and all my chords and all my notation. I have a very nice sketch. This is just a starting point. This should not necessarily be a final arrangement, but when you take everything into place and start and have that basic arrangement that we just heard, then you can start upgrading it and adding synths and arpeggios and using the chord track to do that, and using the project chords to MIDI to do better layouts of those notes or things like that. So very quickly you can have an arrangement going on. Okay, so hopefully this is something that you will take advantage of, that you will feel it will make improvements in your workflow. In my case, I recommend it a lot because it helps me lay out my ideas throughout the whole thing, and I will probably add different sections and things like that. This is just a very quickly sketch, but you can hear how it results into a very quick way to do our sketches and have our ideas sounding very quickly within with a lot of control, because you can see the notes and you can see what you're doing. So hopefully, if it's in your workflow, you can do you can take something from it, and I can't wait to hear your comments and see you on the next one.